Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Emily's Upcycled Home. Please shop my items on Facebook Marketplace with the link in the description. Follow me on my business page for updates, reels, and new items. Like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget that notification bell for more DIY videos. And we're going to jump right into project number 1. And for this project, I have these vintage sconces here. And they're plastic and they're gold. And I've seen them a lot just like this being sold. But, I'm going to go ahead and put my little twist on these and give them a little bit of a layered, grungy, kind of shabby chic kind of look. I don't know if that makes sense. Fall's coming and I'm trying to go with some darker tones or muted tones and bring those darker tones in. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm just going in with this bare chalk paint, and I'm going to use this up until it's gone. And I did order some DIY paint, which works so much better. And if you're interested in any DIY paint, I get my products from Preston AV Designs, and I'll try to link that into the comments. Now that was the third coat of white paint going on there. And I'm coming in with this DIY color Apothecary. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of highlight all these details on this piece and blend in that Apothecary into all these little filigree parts. And I'm trying to make it kind of look like I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say there. But, I'm going to come in with my brush here and I'm just going to blend that color into the piece, making it have a smoother transition and fade out. And I'm just going to continue that process and adding that paint and blending. Once again, this is going to be a layered look here, and just bear with me. I don't know, at the end, let me know what you guys think. Should I have left them white? Should I have left them gold? Or did I add something special to these? So I'm just going to go ahead and continue with this color, and we'll move on from there. So here I'm just coming in with a damp paper towel and taking off kind of the excess, almost using this kind of like a wax and just wiping it on, putting it on and wiping it off. So now I'm going to come in with my DIY dark wax, and I'm just going to layer in that as well using the same paper towel and wiping it off. And I'm trying to get into those little nooks and crevices and add a little bit of depth to this piece and a little bit of, as I said, shabby chic grungy look, if that makes any sense. But I'm going to go ahead and continue layering this dark wax and blending it in, wiping off the excess, and that's going to be my pattern here for a little bit. Now you see, as I'm working, I'm coming in with that brush and blending in all those colors together. And you see me start to pull up into the top base, I mean from the base of the piece up towards the top of the piece with that same DIY dark paint. And once again, I'm using this little wax brush to continue to blend that into the top, you know, just kind of pulling it upward. And here I'm just going to come in from the top, making it darker at the top and pulling downward. And then I'm just going to blend in once again using that brush. And the blending process is just real simple. You just, you know, do circles, pull down until all the little streaks and lines are kind of dissipate from that look and it looks more blended. And now I'm just adding more wax and darkening. Mind you guys, I am making this up as I go. I don't know what these pieces are going to be. I kind of have a idea now because I finished the product before and then I start talking and do a voiceover. So it sounds like I know what I'm doing here. That's why. So now I realize that one is darker than the other. So then I come in and kind of add a little bit more wax to the other one and just compare them, making sure that they're very similar, not identical, because they're not going to be identical because these are all hand done. I'm not a little machine. And then I come in again with that apothecary and kind of blend that in with my brush, just my little painter's brush, and have a very light amount of paint on that brush there. And then here I bring in some more of that apothecary to the top, and you see me just heavily pressing down on this because I was a little heavy-handed and I want that apothecary to really blend into the piece. And once again, I'm just going to continue layering up with those colors until I get a look that I like here. So I'm coming in here with a sandpaper piece here, and I'm just going to distress these pieces, you know, through all those layers, exposing some of that gold that's already on the original color of the piece. And I'm just gonna, you know, go into all those little crevices and kind of distress them and work very lightly with my sandpaper, just working off some of that paint. And I'll repeat that process for the second one. And then I'll try to give you an up close look and see how it's looking. And I hope you guys can see the detail and the texture and the layers here that we created. And then, because I want to finish and add more, and you know, I'm going to come in and highlight pieces where I feel they need to be highlighted to finish up. And you guys, it's a long process of layering the pieces and blending the pieces. So take your time and work on them and, you know, just try them out. Now for project number 2, I thrifted these candle holders, and they're kind of like a plastic tone. They have all these beautiful detail, roses and leaves. Now originally I thought I was just going to paint these white, and I just decided to go along with the same technique I used on the sconces here. And I'm coming in with that same bare white paint, and I'm just doing one coat here because I am going to layer. And I just felt that it just needed one coat. And I'm going to do both candle holders because there is 2. And I'm just going to repeat the process for the second one as well off camera just to save some time on here. And then I'm going to come in with these 4-inch rounds, and I just get these from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to sand them edges off here and smooth them out a little bit. And then, because I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, I'm just going to go ahead and give them a base coat of that same bare chalk paint And I'm going to set these aside and let them dry. And then we're going to continue on with our candle holders. Now here, I've lost a lot of footage here, but I went ahead and added that apothecary in here. I don't know if you can see it, and it just kind of blended that in there. And I did add a little bit of pink to the roses that were on here. And then I'm just coming in again with that dark wax, and we're just going to layer them up. And I'm just showing you the variations here. Now this part right here is just with the white paint. I think the apothecary and the little pink flowers are ready. And then I come in here with that dark wax and put them all into the little crevices and the nooks and crannies, wherever I feel I want it. And then I'm going to go ahead and once again take my blending brush here, and I'm just going to blend it and bring once again my paper towel in here and wipe off the excess. And once again, that pattern is going to be repeated throughout this process. And I'll go ahead and do the second one off camera, so we're not really taking up too much time on this video. So there I am pulling off that excess, and then we'll just go ahead and repeat that process. Like I said, I lost some of that footage, but now we're just going to go ahead and add our rounds. Now, I just used some hot glue here to glue these on because it is a plastic and a wood, so I thought the hole there would work out. And plus, I could not find my E6000 to add that into there. So hopefully these stay, and I'm just checking them to see if they stay. And here is where I'm going to add the dark wax to the tops, and I thought I was just going to leave them originally white, but I didn't. I went ahead and added dark wax. I'm just going to add in a little stamp and then a little butterfly or moth, whatever you want to call it, from the Whispering Bug transfers from Prima Redesign. And then this project will be done. I come in here with some more wax because I didn't want the butterfly to be so bright and stand out so much. I wanted to mute that a little bit. So I went ahead and added some dark wax and some waxes on top. And then there we have it, our candle holders. And I'll show you close-ups in the finished product. So moving on to project number 3. I have this frame, and it was been sitting in my stash, and it looks like I already painted it a blue color and some white on top, But I'm going to go ahead and do that same process here and just mix in those colors, blending, pulling off, and repeat that process. But first I'm going to start with that white, and I am going to show some of that blue tone that's underneath there also. So it's going to have the apothecary here that I'm using, and I'm adding on top of that white. Mind you, my colors here, they're not fully dry, and I tend to work a lot with paint that's not fully dry. Maybe that's just my way, and maybe it's just my impatience, who knows. But I'm going to come in here and go ahead and add that apothecary from DIY paint, and then I'm going to come in once again with that dark wax and our blending tool, and we are going to just keep blending these up and adding colors, taking colors off, until I find that happy medium of where I like everything. Here I'm coming in with some white wax because it's a little dark for me, and I'm just going to try to highlight and bring in some of a lighter tone here and get that layered also in the little crevices to, contrast against that dark pigment there. But I blended everything in and it did work, but it wasn't the look I wanted. But I'm just going to work with this, you guys. And now I'm just coming in with that distress ink, and I'm thinking it needs some brown tones here just to, like, I don't know, give it a little bit more depth here because it all looked a little bit muted, I guess. And I'm just going to come in and rub that ink pad wherever I feel, and then I'm just going to rub it onto the edges of the piece, and I'm going to add some more white wax here and just come in there and just lightly trying to at least blend that into the piece, because I do want some more white and I do want the patterns to stand out a little bit more. Now half of this happens like this because, of course, my paint is still wet and I don't like things dry. But I like this process, and I seem to be continuing doing it. So then I'm going to just go ahead, and this is just me. Now I'm just going to rub out some of that colors that we put in here to bring back some of that blue. And I'm just going heavy-handed with my finger here and taking off some of that paint. Because it's not dry all the way fully, it is easier to do that. And I'm just using my finger, like I said. And then I'm just going to come in with a little bit more apothecary on my finger and give it a little bit more color here. And then I hear myself. Okay, so then the apothecary part, and I'm going to go ahead and print out a picture for the frame here. And I pick out ones that I got from Etsy, and I'll do my best to add those into the description box so that you guys can find these prints as well. And this is me just still blending in those colors. And I will show you the total finished look at the end. And here is project number 4. And for project number 4, if you saw my Hobby Lobby shop with me video that I posted a while ago, you'll see that I got these frames here. And I'm just going to start out by painting a white base onto this. And I believe I do actually 2 coats of this white. And this is once again the white paint by Bear, and it is a chalk paint. And if you go to Home Depot, you can also get these tinted in the colors. And I'm going to go ahead and come in, and we're going to blend in that apothecary. And I'm going to go around the whole piece with this apothecary, but really just adding the heavier tones in the corners and blending that color out into the center and pulling, doing the same thing on both edges, pulling inward for both sides. So now I want to distress this piece, and I'm going to use the tape method here because my paint isn't thoroughly dry, and I want to expose some of that wood tones and give this more like a chippy paint look here. And with that paint in the process here that I'm doing, and I just have a glue stick here, and I'm just pressing into the tape, and I'm pulling off whatever paint gets stuck to that, and that's just giving me this little rustic chippy kind of look here. And I'm just repeating that process all around the frame, and I'm just using plain packing tape. I use that for my shipping, so I have that on hand. So use whatever tape you have, try out different tapes. For me, this one works the best. And I'm just going to repeat that process, and then I'm just going to come in and do the sides, and then we'll seal this piece. And you see, as I pull the tape off, it just randomly pulls off the paint here. Now, after I seal this, I might add some flowers to it just to give it a little bit of a pop of color here, and add that with our vignette, maybe match up the picture I chose for the little frame. And then this project will be done. Okay, I lied. One more step here, and that's just coming in with that same dark wax technique, hitting those corners and blending it into the piece. And then this project will be done. And if I add a flower, you'll see that in the finished products pictures. And let me know what you guys think of this. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.